There's been a death at the Baldwin County Jail. Sheriff Bill Massey says he was called Sunday evening.
I responded to the jail along with my jail administrator, and we found that Tracy McCook, white female, 55 years of age, was deceased in our jail. She was in a cell by herself, and it was self-induced. So we immediately requested the GBI to respond and work the investigation, which we do on all the issues that we have in our jail. Was arrested on a domestic violence charge, interaction with her boyfriend at the time. And when she was booked in our jail, she had some medical issues. She had some symptoms that were symptomatic. I'm not going to say of COVID, but she had a little bit of fever and she had cold type symptoms. So out of abundance of caution, anytime we book people in our jail and they're anyway symptomatic, we segregate them. Miss McCook was in the holding cell by herself, and she was found by our staff when they were making rounds.
This is a Shields of Shame exclusive.
Baldwin County Sheriff's Office,
we need an
Kenzie.
EMT to the jail.
You need what?
EMT to the jail.
Okay, what's going on?
Somebody hung themselves.
In the jail?
Yes.
Like down there where y'all are?
Yes.
Okay.
Control butts.
Hey, are you down there with them in the jail?
Yeah.
Was it a female or male?
Or what?
For the person that hung themselves?
Wait, what?
Somebody just called up here and said they needed EMS down there in the jail because somebody hung themselves.
Who said that?
It was a lady.
Okay, but not, to my knowledge, no one has. Hold on. Did they say who?
No, they didn't.
I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't know if somebody pranking you because night shift just came from over there counting. And if they would have found the hanging body, I'm sure we wouldn't be getting ready to leave right now.
Okay, hang on, let me see what,
Hey, I'm going to transfer you to my supervisor, okay? Hold on.
Hold on, wait, let me see what number they called from. It's not popping up for some reason. 5337, is that y'all?
Say it again?
5337, is that one of y'all's extensions?
No, it's not one of ours. Hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry, it was, okay. Yeah, we do need EMS.
Okay, is it a male or female?
Is it a female? It's female.
Okay, is she still breathing, or is she...
Is she still breathing? No, she's not breathing.
Okay, alright, we'll get them on the way.
Alright.
On to the next available Grady unit. ED unit en route 119 Old Monticello Road, 119 Old Monticello Road. It's going to be the jail. Reference to a female suicide attempt by hanging, currently not breathing. Again, next available unit, respond to 119 Old Monticello Road Northwest, 119 Old Monticello Road Northwest, the Baldwin County Jail. Reference to a female suicide attempt by hanging, not breathing. Time out 1819.
All right, let's see. All right, what's your name?
William Earl Bradley Jr.
All right, just tell me about your day, like when you came on shift and how everything went until you found Miss McCook.
Well, when I came on, we did our head count.
What time did you come on?
I came on at 5:45 this morning.
Okay.
And we had a briefing with Sergeant Nelson and everybody else that was there. And she gave us our post assignments where to go, and we went and did our head count. And my post was the tower. I was there from I think 6:15 till about I think 2:30. I think 2 or 2:30. I can't. It's 2 or 2:30. One of them.
Okay.
And then I was posted in booking back here in the back here. And then I was doing checks for, I was checking on the inmates over here on the medical isolation hall, and I was checking on inmates back here in this bullpen back here.
Okay. And how often do you do those checks?
Every 30 minutes. Or as close as we can get.
Right. And what does do those checks entail? What do you do when you go and check on them?
Just see what the person's doing.
Okay. Do you go in the room, or do you just look through the window?
Either or.
What'd you do with Miss McCook? Did you have to go in the room for her, or were you able to see through the door?
Well, at that time, I made an entry and I never did actually look in. And then I had to go back, try to, came back to booking.
All right, when you say does that mean that you went in and you didn't see her, or?
There's 4 cells.
Right.
There's 4 cells back there.
Mm-hmm.
And we check on that whole area. and everybody looked good. And honestly, I think I forgot to even look in because she was back then. At the time, I think I forgot she was even back there by herself, and I forgot to look in. And then I just signed the book, and that was pretty much it until when they found her at, I think 6. I don't know exactly what time they went in to do count, and they found her.
When was the last time you actually saw her?
I didn't see her. Well, didn't see her today. I saw her yesterday because she came over here and she was getting some medical issues taken care of with the nurse Harper.
Good.
That was sometime that morning yesterday, and then me and Sergeant Nelson brought her over here, and I came over and she was already in here, and then I stayed with her, and then Sergeant Nelson left, and then I took her back to her cell.
Who had her this morning? Who was responsible for doing the checks this morning?
The booking officer that was here this morning, that would have been Officer Birch.
And do you know who found her?
I think it was Jackson, Nichols, and Pitts. They were going in to do a count. I can't remember if he was there, but I know Nichols and Pitts were there because they alarmed us of what had happened.
Okay.
And then we went down there and tried to give her first aid.
Got it.
And
And nobody made you come talk to me, right? Like you weren't told you had to talk to me tonight, were you?
No,
Okay.
I was told that that I got to talk with you guys, which
Yeah.
I kind of figured that since I was the last entry.
I just making sure because we have to make sure that y'all understand that you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to talk to me.
Look, this is an investigation, and something very serious has just happened, and it needs to be handled.
I understand. I appreciate it. All right. Well, how long has she been in here? She's been in here since the 14th.
What was Wednesday? What was Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday was the 14th, I think.
Let me go back 2 days. Okay, Friday night, she had to go out to the emergency room. She was taken out there by another officer, and I took another inmate out there that day too, and she was out there and she was getting treatment at the hospital. I don't know exactly what she had going on because I wasn't with her. I was there, but I don't know what they were doing with her. But they were running some tests and they were doing some stuff with her, and then they got her checked out and they brought her back. Brought her back that evening. They brought her back that evening, about 8 o'clock, I think.
And did any of the dealings you've had with her since she's been here, has she said anything about being depressed or being upset or wanting to hurt herself?
I never heard her say anything about her wanting to hurt herself, or she was upset about her cats and her dogs because she didn't want anything to happen to them because she thought that, well, she said that was all she had because she had no family, had nothing going on, and that was, But then she seemed a little bit better yesterday when we was talking with her.
What was she talking about yesterday?
They was treating her, and she was just talking. I kind of came in on the conversation,
Right.
And they was talking. Her being here, and they was talking to her about her being in here, and she was wanting, just wanting to get out, get back to her cat and dog.
Do we need to step back out?
Yeah, just for 1 minute. We'll be done in just. No, go ahead and get it.
No, just around the chart.
Okay, no. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. that all of it?
It is sitting folder. We got an empty folder.
Is this in up here? I think it's
That's it, because we hadn't even had it labeled yet.
She talked about wanting to be with her cats and dogs.
Yeah, she was, kind of missed it. Yeah, she wanted me out.
Right.
Because she said she didn't really do anything.
What was her demeanor like when you were around her? I mean, nobody's ever happy to be here, but I mean, did she seem to eat or drink, or did she act like
she was having some problems keeping the food and stuff down, and she was being treated. And then I think she went from liquid diet, and we started slowly to incorporate harder food to her. And that's just from what I saw.
Right. All right. Well, that is about everything. All right. Well, let me talk to these other people. I'm the GBI agent assigned to work this investigation. What was your name?
Brittany Coleman.
Brittany Coleman. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been working here?
About 2 months.
Okay. So
Going
you're
on 2 months.
Have you done law enforcement type work or anything else prior to this?
No, ma'am.
All right. So this is probably your first one of something like this. So there's a little that I explained to you off the get-go, and that is that this is a criminal investigation, and why that's important to you specifically is that you do not have to talk to me. There's a law called Garrity, which means that the sheriff's office can tell you that you have to tell them what happened, or you could get in trouble with your job. That is not the case with me. If you don't want to talk to me, you can get up and walk out at any point if you want to, all right? All right. Just tell me what happened from when you came on shift.
I'm actually not even supposed to be here tonight. This is not my shift. So I come in, we were doing count, come down, and I took my phone out, looked to see what time it was while I was opening the bullpen where Miss McCook was. And it was 6:17, put it back in my pocket, turned the keys, opened the door, and looked straight ahead first because they're normally in their beds. So
Right.
I was looking, went around the corner, and I seen her right there, just hanging from the phone. Oh, that was horrible. She had her blanket covered up. She was covered up with her blanket, and she had the phone in her hand. And it was like this. I don't know. And then I just started screaming for the other officers to come help, because I didn't know what to do. To be quite honest with you, my old man recently passed away, and it just kind of messed me up there for a minute, and I had to gather my composure. I just started hollering for Nelson and the nurse and the other lady that was back there with me counting. I didn't know what else to do.
No, that's all. I mean, really, at that point, you did exactly right. That is all you could have done, is to get other people to come help, and you did everything exactly right. You went in there to do the count, to lay eyes on them, and that's what you're supposed to do. So you can feel good knowing that you did your job. You went in there to check on her. Had you had any interactions with her before today?
Yeah. When I was working my regular shift.
What's your regular shift? What do you normally work?
Was it A2 shift?
What hours are those usually?
6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's still nights. But yeah, ever since she was booked in, 'cause she was booked in on our shift. But we do, whenever I'm working the floor or booking, check on her and all that. But that's about the gist of the interaction. Do counts and then go in and check on her when we do our rounds.
Had she said anything about being upset or being depressed or anything?
Not to me. She wouldn't really talk. But I asked her, "You okay?" And she would just shake her head, yeah. But that was about the gist of it. She wouldn't really communicate with me. But I only had maybe 2 or 3 times where I was working on this end and had to do those rounds back there.
Right. So when you called for help, did you go call 911 or who?
No, ma'am. The other lady, I don't even know some
It's
of their
okay.
names. Nichols.
Right.
She was in there counting with me, and so I hollered for her, and then she hollered and I hollered for Nelson and the nurse, and one of them went back and called 911. I don't know which one.
It's okay. Did you stay there with?
I stayed at the door right there.
Okay.
I didn't stay in the room.
Right.
But I held the first bullpen door open.
Right.
We were all kind of hollering, and they were coming in and out, back and forth.
Got it. And I know she. What was she wearing when you saw her?
The only thing that I seen was the gray blanket she had over. I don't know if she had on a bra or anything. I just know she had that blanket draped over her. But I don't know if she had anything on. I know she didn't have her jumpsuit on.
Right.
Unless she had it, tied around the bottom, how some of them do.
All right. That is everything. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm Jerry Lynn Cootie. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
Bernard Pitts.
Bernard
Pitts.
All right. All right. Just tell me about when you. Well, first I have to tell everybody this. This is a criminal investigation, so you do not have to talk to me pursuant to Garrity, and what that means is they can't tell you have to talk to me because of your job. So if you decide at any point you don't feel like talking anymore, then you can head on out. All right. Just tell me about coming on shift and what happened.
Yes, ma'am. I came on shift. My shift started at 6 p.m. And we were doing a count. So when we got to the bullpen count, Officer, what's her name? It was me, Officer Nichols. I'm trying to think of the other lady's name because she don't work my shift.
Let's see. I had we had Nicole Coleman, and you. Was it Coleman that you're trying to think of?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Who you need?
Oh no, he was just trying to remember a name.
Yeah, it was. And as we got ready to enter the cell she was assigned to, Officer Coleman opened up the door and said, "Oh my God, she hung herself." And so me and Officer Nichols went in and we saw her with the phone cord wrapped around her neck. And after we immediately called for help, Sergeant Jackson, Sergeant Nelson, and some more officers came to, responded. And Sergeant Jackson immediately unwrapped the cord around her neck, checked for signs of life, that she was checking her pulse, and the secretary used to be an EMT on family.
Oh no, yeah.
And he checked the brachial pulse and carotid pulse. He didn't feel anything. So nurse, I think her name Hopper came. She was notified. She came, started doing CPR on her, and they sent Officer Nichols to go get the AED. She went and got the AED and hooked it up to the AED and followed the prompt actions of the AED. And a couple minutes later, the EMTs arrived. They continued. I mean, they took over the CPR compression. And still no signs of life. And that's when I was notified that Sheriff Massey was notified, Major Adams, and of course she.
Got it.
And I stood by the board to make sure it wouldn't be disturbed, evidence.
And did anybody else come in there while you were standing by before anybody? Okay.
I made sure that I just stood at the whole entire day and moved.
And I know she came in on the 14th. Had you had any dealings with her? Like, has she spoken to you or talked to you while on any of your shifts?
This is my first time, to tell you the truth. It's my first time ever seeing her. It's my first time ever seeing her.
All right. Well, that is everything.